look like I'm looking really slow, but it's basically I'm gonna try to find out where I'm gonna look for business. I have a good idea probably where I'm gonna end up. Um, just because let's just say in theory I didn't feel like making phone calls today. Let's say in theory that I don't feel good, right? Maybe I'm not a phone call type person. So actually I'm gonna gravitate towards looking for business where I actually don't have to pick up the phone, right? Let me see if I share my screen. Is it this one? Is that the right one?
You got it.
Perfect.
Sure.
Okay, so get onto my email. Let me get on Zoom. Uh-oh, did I do that wrong?
You got out of the window you were sharing.
My bad. Uh-oh. Did I do something wrong here?
There you go.
There we go. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, like I said, I pretend that I don't know exactly where I want to look for business. Normally, I might gravitate towards just picking up the phone, right? But let's say you guys wake up and you're like, I don't know exactly where I'm gonna go. So bear with me. I gotta get on these Zoom windows. This is pulling out. So for me, I'm gonna go to the MLS first. And again, I'm just looking for where am I going to lead gen, right? So again, where am I going to go look for money? If I didn't know exactly, and I'll just keep kind of kicking the dead horse because this is a very slow process. It might appear to be slow, but there's a rhyme and reason to what I'm doing. I want to go, what if there is some expires I want to call, right? So this is one of the first things that I do in the morning. I come in, I look at, hey, what's new that hit the market? What actually just hit the hot list, but I'm going to run to this expired real fast. See if there's anything on here worth calling. There's a few of them. The 495, 539, and an 825. But what if I don't feel good, right? So I'll keep kicking this one. So what if I don't feel good and I don't really want to pick up the phone? I don't want to call this number. Maybe I just want to actually start doing some typing. Maybe I want to do some Facebooking, things of that nature. Those expires look good. I will call them at some point throughout this today, just so you're aware. But let's say in theory there wasn't any expireds and I don't want to farm. Now I'm going to go to Facebook. Bear with me here because, oop. We don't have Facebook. Okay, here's Marketplace. So now I'm going to go because everybody can do this, right? So you don't have to pick up the phone to use the Marketplace. We're going to go and we're going to look for properties for sale, home sales. This might bring up Bloomington. Here's Morton. So these are all homes that are popping up. Now I get to decide how do I want to contact these people, right? And why would I contact these people? One of the things that I like to do is I contact them wondering when they sell their house, where are they looking for another property, right? Because I have properties for sale, right? And so when I talk to them, and I'm going to show you what it looks like here, but when I reach out to this home in Morton and I say, hey, I see that you have a house for sale. When you sell this house, are you looking for another house? Generally, the answer is going to be one of two things, right? We already found a property, or yeah, we're in the market, right? And no matter what, I get to say, great. The reason I was contacting you is because I have this house here that I'm looking for buyers for, right? So when I reach out to somebody that's selling their house and I say, hey, I'm trying to sell this property for my seller and I'm looking for buyers, what did I just tell that person? And this is a for sale by owner, by the way. What did I just tell them? That I'm working hard for my sellers, right? And especially like, so I might work this to an avenue of, this was listed over a week ago. If this house in this market isn't sold, do you think that they're having a problem selling it? Right. So I might choose a listing that I'm having a hard time selling as well. And then so when I say, hey, I'm having a hard time selling this house, I'm not getting the traffic that I had. And not only, by the way, my photography looks better. I have the marketing, right? And I'm having the same issues you're having. What did I just tell that person? The odds of you selling your house is probably gonna be smaller, right, than me, the professional. So again, then when I reach out and I say, hey, are you looking to buy a house? Are they gonna actually go do what I just did and go look for buyers, or did they need an agent like me? Does that make sense? So this is a slow process, but now I gotta figure out, and this works, by the way. I have multiple listings I can show you just to prove it. If you guys don't believe me, this is how I snag business off the marketplace. I don't have to call them. I have to determine here this is listed by Callie Farmer with Keller Williams, which is okay. Yes, no. So you do have to go look to see if it's listed with with an agent, because you don't want to cross signs, right? So right off the bat, you can see there's issues here. This is in Astoria. So for me, I have to do, like I said, this is a slow process, but again, if you're not doing anything and you don't want to smile and dial, this is as easy as it gets. Any questions so far?
Yeah, as you're scrolling there, when you say
Astoria is too far for me.
you don't want to
Okay.
cross signs, so I get that this property is listed and you don't want to go after that listing. Will you still call it prospecting for the buyer?
Will I still call the listing?
Yeah.
Help me understand that.
Well, again, if your original script is, hey, I'm curious, when you sell your house, where will you go?
Yeah, I won't.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just making,
Yeah,
just a point of clarity, right? So,
Yep.
so there is a point where generally if it's listed, we become, hey, that's another agent's client.
yeah,
And
I
we'll
won't.
respect the relationship.
I won't call them at all. Now, this is where the other side of me comes out. Now, if that agent loses that listing, this is where sometimes people disagree with me, and that's okay. I don't really care where you work. And I don't care that if it's even your family member. If it didn't sell, there's money there, and I'm in the business to make money, I will call it.
So if it expires.
If it expires, yeah,
Yep.
for some reason, you lost the deal, and that's not on me, that's on you, right? And I have ticked off some agents doing that, but then there's a reason they didn't list back with that person, right? And if they don't list with me, they're gonna go list with somebody else if they're not gonna use that other agent. So at the end of the day, I've taken some listings from some of my best friends in this market, and it's a competitive business, right? And I like food on my table, so I won't call that one.
Yep.
I might call Cali, but really, if you think about it, really what I'm up to, yeah, am I using my bait to find listings? Yeah. Can I find a buyer with it? Yeah. But I don't, let me see here. So this wasn't a story. I'm gonna back out here because that's too far for me. Basically, I have a rhyme and reason to how far I'll go, and it's based off money. So here's a house, nothing left to do. Jennifer Modulin. I just gotta weed through it, and these pop up all the time. House for sale, when I see that, that's a for sale by owner typically. Open house, March 10th. So we're past that. I think this house is sold. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm not gonna use, I don't know if anybody's chiming in here, but I'm not gonna use the standard. I gotta get rid of this screen somehow. How do you? All right, it's just in my way. So instead of saying, hey, good morning, is this? There we go. Morning, is this still available? Can you guys see my screen?
No. Fine.
Put your glasses on there, darling.
Yes.
You're bad.
I can't see a thing. Scary.
So basically, is your home still for sale? And then basically what I'm gonna do is you sell your home.
Hey, Ryan, did they list the number or could you only message?
You can call, but great question, James. James, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so not everybody will pick up the phone and call. So agent wise, and so that's what I'm trying to illustrate here is you don't have to pick up the phone. Most of the time agents are like, I'm not calling. It's just what it is. Some will, the majority won't. So this is a way that you don't have to call. You could use this message just to get the ball rolling, right? What I found is when they start texting back and forth, it will turn into a phone call at some point. And those are easier phone calls because you've built some rapport via the internet, right? It's easier to text and call or text and email nowadays versus a phone call. So when you sell your home, are you going to be buying another home in the area? And so this is a long process. I have to wait for this person to respond, but I can show you if I was to go into my marketplace, these conversations happen all the time. These are conversations that I've had with other buyers, right? Let's see here.
So don't disclose that you are. a licensed realtor?
Not yet. Not yet. I will, definitely.
Is that-
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just curious if the house is still for sale, because if it is, I'm a licensed realtor and I have a house that I'm trying to sell. So hopefully somebody will respond pretty quickly. And normally they will, because I can basically, what I'm gonna do is type a better message. I'm gonna start copying and pasting it. And so I can touch 15, 20 of these pretty quickly and wait for that's the other thing about this, is you're on their schedule at that point. It's not a phone call like I have them on the horn. Now they're gonna respond, and then it's later that I'm gonna have to most likely respond to them, which is okay.
When you approach them with the other house that you said, I don't like, so what do you then follow up with?
I'm gonna send them a link because I want to show them my marketing as well. Right? Like I'm not doing it, but like I'm not going, hey, check out my marketing. It's I'm having a hard time selling this house, or I see that you have this house for sale, and hopefully somebody will respond and you'll see how I start digging into it. But one way or the other, the script is going to go a couple different directions, right? And it's going to be a type script. So it's going to be like, hey, they're looking to move into the area or out of the area. And then I'm going to say something, I'm going to say X, right? If they're looking to downsize or upsize, then I'm going to say X, and it's going to be this link, right? Now, if I had a house in Pekin, for instance, like I just sold one, and I could use it to say, well, I know that there's other buyers looking to move into this area, right? I could say that I'm having a hard time, or I just sold this one really, really fast, for instance. And I know that there's other people looking into it. So if they had a house in Pekin and it's been on the market for 2 weeks, and I just had a house that I just sold that fast, what's that tell them? You need me, right? You're having a hard time selling your house. So then my pitch isn't going to be, I'm having a hard time selling this house. It's going to be, hey, I sold this house pretty quick. You need me, right? And I listed it, this would be my example on that one, would be, I actually listed it $14,900 higher than the other realtor that had beat out for it. And I sold it for $9,000 something dollars more than the realtor was wanting to list that house for. You need me, right? Hang on a second. We can't hear the question in the room.
Yeah, I'll do a little better job.
All right, so again, we're gonna go, I have a feeling with the emojis is gonna be a realtor, but serious inquires only, property sold as is, property to verify information, assignment of contract.
So fire damage. Every time.
So this is assignment of contract. Let me see who this is. He's a wholesaler. I'll just save my arguments with those guys.
So when it comes to a wholesaler like that, you're just not gonna call them.
I won't
Oh,
even
okay.
mess with it. Yeah, I have before, and I just start spinning my wheels where I should have just stayed on track here. So here's a great, I love seeing photos like this. It's a great basement. They've got some new plumbing, high efficiency furnace, but what am I buying here? Ooh. What we got? Cute. Brimfield, listed about a day ago. So even this is probably a flip, right? But I'm still going to use the same script. Anthony, I do look at these people just to try to figure out who it is I'm talking to. 6 mutual friends. Got a couple realtor friends, because that matters, right? But I've also found investors this way. it's cool. So they'll be like, nah, it's an investment for you. But hey, if you have any of these coming up, let me know, right? I have sold a house that way. So this is, again, this might not even turn into a listing. This could be an investor looking for a flip. Yep. So,
Yeah, and that's part of the goal, is to get in there, and if you get to know somebody, you're still building a relationship, I mean, you just never know.
it could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking for a new flip. They're looking for a second house. I've had a house, matter of fact, that I sold. It was a for sale by owner. I listed it in Germantown, or he wanted to sell it that way. It didn't sell. I wiggled in, listed his house, but while I was listing his house, he turned around and bought a property for his son in East Peoria. Real nice. Like really red there, Stacy. All right. So that's just an example of what it can actually turn into. Like, hey, I contacted this person. It was a for sale by owner. I obviously want the listing. I got the listing, but in the meantime, he actually turned around and purchased. It was a cheap house, but again, that's lead gen. You never know what's going to turn out of it. It's a good morning question. When you sell this house, you need to purchase another. Now we'll start moving here.
Do you have I assume he'll follow up with your other ones, but do you have a process then for following up with those? Because this guy could be on the market in 2 more weeks.
Yeah, so this is, well, I do. It's not that great. So I don't normally like lead genning like this, but some people will. So it all comes down to what you like to do. Like if this is something, this is just an example of, you don't have to be like me and just pick up the phone, right? You can be this person. And so you might call them in the morning, or you might text them in the morning and then follow up. Most likely, where are these people at right now? Work, right? And so they're going to start responding at some point. And I would highly recommend you be very responsive when you do that, because it's just like a fish on the hook, right? You're going to want to keep it warm, or on the hook. So it's the same way, but if they haven't responded, you reach back in the afternoon. You could do this reoccurring every day. This could be your lead gen. Matter of fact, if you don't like picking up the phone, this could be your morning lead gen every time. What just hit the market? There's not 100 houses on here, right? There's only so many of them. So eventually you start running into the same properties. But I have properties. There's one out in Wyoming. I've talked to him for a couple months. I'm just buying my time, waiting on them not to sell that house. And I've kept up on it for a long period of time. Did I answer your question? Yep. All right. So here's East Peoria. There's one in Towanda, by the way. I'm gonna snag that.
If Ryan lists house in Tawana, I would be pissed.
I'm gonna do it.
I mean.
All right, so doesn't have a lot of friends, but again, I'm just creep. I don't even know why I creep. I just do. I think everybody does, right? Let's look for the photos. This guy needs me. And so look at, yeah,
Was he falling down like that?
right. 149, 3-bed, 2-bath. There's
Make sure you got the stains in that grout on there really good.
There's a chance. Right. It doesn't give me the address. If there was an address, I could use that as bait. I'll find one with an address. Because what if I find one that I think is underpriced?
Do a comp.
Right. I could do a lot of different things. I could use Zillow if I wanted to. Does Zillow show that the home is worth more than he's asking? Does RPR show whatever it is? Do I have something that I can bait the hook at? So right off the bat, if you notice, I've already sent 2 messages. This will be my 3rd. So do you guys think this is an easy way to contact for sale by owners? I've already done 3 already sitting in front of people. Anybody can do this.
And I'm assuming the response rate is better with a phone call than with a message.
In my opinion, yeah.
That makes
James,
sense.
man, you gonna make phone calls? Because I'm loving it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right.
Allow people to zoom in.
You sell this.
Oh,
house.
okay.
Purchase them.
One, you just actually call them, so we can call.
Sure. Yep. I also have I might have somebody that might do a little script practicing with me on the NAR settlement of why they don't want to pay a realtor. Cause I think we've got some good scripts, huh?
Good photos there.
Right? Yes, there we go. All right, let's check it out. So Luis is looking for another home. Great. All right, so I have somebody on the hook, right? Have you found it? Have you? The reason I ask is because I have several homes for sale.
So sorry, I'd be very ignorant.
We could sit up here.
You're okay.
Mute it, you know?
I muted.
She's sufficiently humiliated after that
I
experience.
know.
And so, like, I could. So this is it. Like, this is easy as it gets, right? Like, I'm gonna keep going because I want to know, like, does he have to sell this house in order to buy? Right? But I have to stick with why did I get any areas specific that you're looking to move into?
You just loved it.
Sure, okay, you guys, whatever. If I'm one click away, listen, I'm one click away. If he just clicks my name, guess what he'll see? I'm a realtor. Let's see, send address and pics, okay. Well, okay,
Ironically, this guy's teaching a class about buyers right now.
He put this data out on his Facebook page.
Couple.
Hey, let's see who responds to that. We'll show you how to get them.
I would be so beautiful. Of course I
No, you're fine. I'm there, I can't read it.
all right, so. Now I gotta go find something. So here's the kicker. What if you guys don't have a listing, right? Cause I can use something for bait, right? What if you don't have
Can
something?
you say we?
You- Yeah, this guy's smart, man. Yes, you're exactly right. Keller Williams has something. Find a realtor that you like, one that likes you, and see if you can use one of their listings as bait. It's just the way it is. You can use you can market my properties all you want. Yep, you can. You just can't, my understanding is you can't publicly market somebody else's property without their consent. And I'm not really marketing the property, but, let me see here. What do I want to
If
do?
you have an interested buyer, it's the same thing as me
Right,
sending
you're-
listings to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
She's asked you to send the listing.
Yeah, you can send it with the IDX,
Boom, boom.
you can
Check
send it
this
through an
out.
IDX feed, it has to have the broker. Reciprocity, right? So that it'll show this listing is a, whatever brand company.
North Street, Peoria, Illinois. All right, so check this out. Found one that I have listed. Not really, kids grown. Doesn't really care where, south into Peoria. All right, so this fits his price range. So really, this is just a waiting game to see how this will transpire, because it's not like it's a phone call and I've got to start working some scripts and objection handlers and tie downs and things of that nature. Oh, okay, that's annoying. I don't even know what that is. You probably. Well, we'll just keep going to you. Or wait, so somebody,
She asked you to send a down payment.
no way.
About to sell you a horse.
So you seen that?
So don't you feel better having? We'll send those components. I would. Yeah.
So which one was that? Right. Hang on.
Assumption is that everyone's doing this, and they're not.
That
So you
I,
guys have a conversation with it, doesn't mean that it's.
Yep.
Working with it, one thing.
okay, so it's that one, because I'm gonna let him keep going, but I'm gonna keep looking. Canton. 100,000, I might go that far. Oh, we have a video. Decent. Open house. Is this a realtor? Oh, broker interest, okay. So stay away from that one. This is a Bloomington one. Listed 3 days ago.
Oh, McKinsey.
Yep. Snazzy. Yeah. House for sale, no way. 165 best offer. Dewey Morris. One mutual friend. Matt Wilkerson. He's a lender. Let's see here. Oh, shoot.
Around what you did as part of that. You have, with your friends, it's exactly what he's doing, he's just saying what the connection is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's be the scammer, and then he doesn't care.
Well, if he's a scammer, he's got the right person, because I love scammers. I love. Okay. So he did respond. Notice, like, I didn't just rush back to his text. I've already got him, but I wanted to like get another hook in the water by sending this out there. All right, let's see, marketplace, Luis. I want sold also 2 others. I know by owner of interesting property, 2 houses, kind of different behind finishes.
What's he saying?
So they want it sold also 2 others I know of by owner off Pinecrest, same property, 2 houses, kind of different, but high-end finishes. The current lady's marketing is kind of fumbled the bag, and I'd say misrepresented online pics and delivery info, but those properties could be easy 3 houses for you. Dude, I feel like this, I need to take this guy out for coffee or something. Yeah, right? Huh? What's that? No. Not at all, not at all. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, so here's another one. So not at the moment, no. Okay. So he's not looking for a house. So this way, I'm gonna call this, I have a couple problem childs. That's what I like to say is I have a couple problem childs I'm having a hard time selling. So hence that's why I was contacting you in hopes that you were looking to buy another property to see if one of these problem childs might work for you. right? And the whole idea is because he's not looking for another house. I'm hoping that he's having the same struggles that I'm having with a couple properties, and he'd be like, and I'm gonna lead into, how's the sale of this going so far for you, right? If he needs to hire a realtor, even though he's friends with Matt Wilkerson, who is part owner of the lending with Adam Merrick, I'm still gonna pursue it, right? Probably gonna go nowhere, but does that make sense what I'm up to? Right? Okay, so.
Right, he's not looking to buy it, he's not with an agent.
For sale by owner.
I mean, wouldn't you want to offer, hey, if this sucks by owner, do you wanna?
Yep, I'm leading into that.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta build some trust first real quick and then figure out what he's up to, cause he might say, yeah, I have this house sold or something like that, but. So what I'm doing now is just building some rapport, saying, hey, I have a couple problem child homes that I'm having a hard time finding a buyer for. I was hoping you needed another house, so. We'll move on to the next one. So I have that in the works. I'm gonna slow down on that guy, throw another hook in the water here. This one, I feel like I talked to this one. Nope. I feel like I did. Listed over a week ago. This thing should be sold. Contract for deed. Ah, Jason Campbell. He's an appraiser.
Do you ever pursue those even though? Do you ever pursue those even though, as you say, he's an appraiser? He may even have a real estate license, but if there's somebody you know, would you ever pursue that and go to him and just go, hey, I noticed you have this, but. Those guys are probably gonna flip another property at some point in time, they're gonna be looking for an agent or just build a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, I could. I can tell you what I know about Jason is Ronnie V. That's his, they're right at,
Yeah.
yep, I'm not gonna get anywhere with it. I
Yeah.
probably should. I probably shouldn't just count myself short,
I
but
get
those two, I'm not wiggling in there, right? It'd be like me wiggling in with your State Farm guy.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
What's his name, by the way? All right, let's see. I just want to throw one more hook out and then I'll go back to Luis. Cause I haven't determined exactly what I want to say to him yet. This is cute. Snazzy. Princeton. No realtors, please. Ha. That doesn't work for me.
Was that his comment?
Huh?
Was that his comment? No, really?
Yeah.
Your approach is not going and trying to list it, your approach is to find out where they're wrong.
How awesome is that, right? And she says she doesn't need a realtor yet, right? And again, it could turn into nothing, but I can guarantee I can sit here and do this. I promise you. And I'm willing to bet money on it. I can sit here and do this all day today, and I will have an appointment. It's just the way it is. I'm sure I already have one that he might be looking to scam me, but the scammer is going to get scammed. So,
Are you trying to get to an in-person appointment? Is that the-
absolutely. So here, I need to figure out, this is why this is such a slow thing to even try to illustrate on Facebook, or not Facebook, but a Zoom Live, is because I got to try to figure out, without talking to him, I can't hear a lot of things, right? So I'm just reading. Unfortunately, we know how all that can go. So I got to figure out, how do I, no, we have already purchased a home. Okay. So again, bummer, right? I was hoping that I have this house out in Putnam that I'm having a hard time finding a listing for. So I'm gonna take this. And I gotta move the Zoom thingy down, Putnam County. Oh, hang on. I think I might have messed that up. Bear with me.
Adam, I'm curious, Ryan, I'm curious too, you're sharing links out of homes.com.
Yep.
Why do you use homes.com?
Because it's my listing, my lead. If they send it anywhere, click on anything or want more information, I'm the only one that gets the lead.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I, just for reference, right, I use my own site, so easierhomesfarm.com. If you link those to your KW site, all those listings show up in there too. So I'll just link out my KW site and send this link. It's the same kind of thing, just
Yeah.
different setup.
So what I've learned, and it's a good way to do it too. What I've learned is people are using bigger search engines than my website. Do I want to keep them on my website? Yeah, but I find that they're typically trailing off one way or the other. So I want to give them a large platform to search on, even though mine has a majority of the information there, but it's also limited to just my MLS. What do I got going on here?
He's messaged you again.
Yeah, here we go. He ain't scamming. That's good. He's working me. All right.
Let's get him on the phone.
So I have a house that I took over from. It's hard for me to type like this, so I apologize. Bummer, I have a house that I took over from another agent that was not able to sell. Let's see. So the whole idea here is I just told her that the other realtor failed. And then this guy hired me. It kind of sounds bad, right? But he did. He failed. And they hired me to sell this house. I'm hoping my marketing looks better than hers. And then not only that, if she's having a hard time selling her house, I just told her that I just took over a listing from another agent that had a hard time. And guess what I have to do now to sell this house? No, sorry, I don't, Ryan. All right. Yeah, right. I like it. So I'm gonna slow down with her for a moment. I'm gonna go back over here, see what he's got going on.
Ryan, that link, I'm sorry, that link that you
Stacy.
sent her.
Okay.
Oh. That link that you sent her, what is in that link?
Right here.
Oh, you just sent one of your listings.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know if you sent like a informational thing about yourself first.
Nah. Yeah, I like to let this stuff kind of do my talking for me. If she was really curious, she could look up the old listing and see what that guy did. Cause it's still out there. All right, let's go back to here.
That was on the homes.com.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So this is the guy that I wouldn't list his house. I told him that I wasn't interested in this, that I literally interviewed for this job. And he wouldn't list it at the commission. And I told him that I wasn't his realtor. And then he said, well, he's like, I really like you. And anyways, so I just turned in, I actually told him, it's like, I'm actually no longer interested in working for you. Who did he go with? Hey, that'll work. but I do know that house.
Did he, tell me what? Why did he send you this link to another house? Because he knows that person?
No, he's probably interested in it.
Oh, he's interested
He's
in
looking
it.
at buying.
Yeah.
Okay. You either stumbled onto something real or, yeah.
So. It's interesting, right? When you know the house, when all of a sudden they send you something, you gain instant credibility when you know something that's out there, you're familiar with a few details about it. So this whole idea, in Ignite, we teach this whole, go 2 or 3 homes every day. I mean, obviously, none of us do that anymore, but if you want to know the market, there really needs to be this thing of how do you start going through some of these houses again? But this is wise, because now you get credibility in the conversation where it's, I can answer all the questions for you without you ever going through it.
This reminds me of old too, when you have a problem. And when you say, I have a problem child, if someone has a problem, you want to help somebody with that problem.
Yeah.
And so when you're saying that, people naturally, it's just instinct.
I think too, even what you were just saying. Is that, I think it's important, because I didn't always used to do this, is look at closed sales every day and see what they sold for and look at what that house is. So when you're doing this quickly, you are prepared of understanding that closed market.
So one thing that I go with my team specifically, and they'll tell you this, I look at the new every day, I look at the expired every day, I look at the pending, I look at the closed. There's not much that can run through our MLS that I haven't seen. And it just helps me, like, when I'm in an area, and be like, that's probably sell for that, I'll probably sell for that. Like, when somebody says an address, I know which one you're talking about. So-and-so had it, or it just closed, right? Things of that nature. Went over the asking price. Like, when you sit there and look at it every day, and you should, really, it's just, this is your craft, right? I gotta keep on with it anyways. Let's see, so Jan, so I gotta keep on, probably that North Street.
Point, that's the point, if you ask someone, because you reach out, if you're gonna, oh my God.
I asked for help. Yeah, I love, so my message was that I'd love the help. And I've said this before, if somebody doesn't want to help you, probably won't work with that person anyways, but when you ask somebody for help, it's only natural, like you're not gonna be like, I ain't helping that person. That doesn't happen, right? Most people, like, even if you're a turd of a human, you will at some point help somebody. Yeah.
Matter of.
Yep. Market. Luck. Oh, geez. Oh, all right, probably that North Street. All right, so he's halfway interested in a property that I sent him. I gotta look into this, Louise. We got a dog. How bad could it be? "31 friends." Looks pretty new. All right, so before I go too far, so let me see. Let's feel it. No need help selling. Sometimes it doesn't show up. Normally, like it. So location. I've had it done, do it to mine as well. But either, oh, 404 Prospect. They keep sending this. Oh, that's a different one. Okay, so this is back to Jan. Back to you, Jan. No, we have a young couple interested, but the banks are requiring 20% down. They're asking us to lease it to them for a year so they can save for down payment. We might lower the price by 5K and have another open house. Ooh. All right, hang on here. So we gotta, I'm gonna slow down because I feel like I got a couple hooks. Yeah. Oh. Where'd Jan go? Here's Jan.
They'd be very good at that.
Well, if I normally at my office, I have another screen. It does help me a little bit. I have a young out there.
Yes, you know. Real estate is different.
By Princeton, check this out. Okay, so she's telling me she's gonna lower the price of the house. All right, watch this. Sorry, I keep having to move these Zoom windows. So really, what do we want her not to do? Lower the price of the house, right? But before you do that, hang on. Oh,
Yikes. Get on fire, why is it?
so 3 beds. 3 beds, 1 bath. Okay, so this is really nice. Oop, what we got here? So now I'm gonna see what RPR is saying. Didn't have much information, so bear with me here. 1655. Bear with me here. 185. So when somebody says they're gonna lower the price of the house, I gotta try to justify, don't do that yet. right? Like, because you lower it and then, you know, there's a chance that you could list it with a realtor and save that money. So I gotta figure out. 185. Let me see something here. Is it on Zillow? It is. 34 days. Hmm. So they tried to sell it last year too. 180. Yeah, so here's what I'm gonna do.
So they tried last year and this year, so that was sold, but he's listed, it probably would have been sold, especially last year, which is the way the market was.
Right.
It was the one that said, no, vote, which was.
Mhm. You guys seen Tommy Boy? They're like, we're not gonna take no for an answer. We're not gonna take no shit. No, we're not gonna take no. Okie dokie. Like, no. Yeah. It's hard to type like this. Putting that on that. So what I center, notice. See where that lands.
Can I ask you a stupid question? How did you screenshot that? I know that.
Function command 4. So. Or wait, shift command 4, my bad. And then you can pull this window like this. That's how I end up with all these screenshots over here. Oh, I feel like I left Zoom land out here. My bad, Zoom. All right, so let me get back to Louise. Because I feel like we need to set something up here. Oh, I know what I was gonna do, prospect. So I do know where that's at. So Louise, hang on here, let's see, marketplace profile. All right, so I want to go check him out real quick. Does he actually own that house?
Looking to see if he owns it.
Yeah,
It says someone in Rico Bryant, right?
right. I wonder,
I need eyes on floors. I gotta tell them tomorrow.
it's East Peoria, Brenda. I think is what it said. Hang on. Yeah, East Peoria.
They have like a nice, they'll maintain. They're very strict in there. The parking on the street. Oh. Yeah.
Sure. He could have just bought it too. Wow, thanks for this information, Ryan.
Is this Jan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was so invested.
All right, so I feel good about Jan right now. I really do. Yeah. So I gotta figure out which way to go here. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna throw another hook out. I'm gonna go find another house, put something else in the water. While I try to think about what I want to talk to her about. Cause I haven't, huh? Not yet. Yeah, but I think what I'm gonna, I need to think real quick. Cause I'm not gonna say it's like methodical by any means, but it's like, yeah, it is. Like I have to figure out how to keep gaining her trust, right? And then like, what's gonna speak to her? Like, wow, I really, she's liking me, right? Wow, thanks for the info, right? So maybe if I can show her and illustrate how I can save her money, that's possible. I just gotta think about what I want to send her quick. Let me think here. Hayworth, what do we got here? I think I seen this on the internet. I think this is listed with an agent. No? Is this not listed with a realtor? Aw. Actually, Brownfield. That's very industrial. What kind of house is this? I like it. Is this not listed with a realtor? It's not on there? Okay. I hate this. Oh my gosh. Alright. So she's at. Just bear with me here.
What was that?
That's a little spreadsheet that cheat sheet. I'll show you. You guys are welcome to it as well. Jan. 185. All right, so. So this is something that I made to show for sale by owner versus a realtor. She's saying that she wants 185,000. Well, if I pull my stats off of NAR, not my stats, but just they say what the average for sale by owner sells at. I maybe need to update this, but it's 89.7%, right? And then I could say what I sell a home at right now, and I've tracked this since I got in real estate, and I could say the last 2 years that listed sold price ratio would be different, it'd be higher. But since I got into real estate in 2014, I can just go show you real quick. Well, actually, so this is how. So when I go, I'll just go off subject here real quick. When I go to listing appointment, I will actually show this. So not a buyer deals. Hang on a second. This might just be this. Yeah, just the local here. But if I take my listings that I've actually sold, you take $103 million, divided it by $106 million. That's my ratio. So this is so I like to say, hey, realtors are like baseball players. We have stats, right? So you take that 103, 330, 609, and then you divide it by the bigger number, 106, 602, 987. So 90, I went down. So 96.9% is since I got in real estate. So you could actually do a couple different things. You could say, well, what if I wanted to just cook the numbers by saying, what about the last 2 years? Because then we're going to be like at 100% or above, right? I don't know necessarily. I don't know. It feels different to me, but so I could add this 96.93 in there and see how that changes. So right off the bat, like if let's just say she's right with the price of her house, and I've done this to where, for instance, this house here, Hamilton, hang on. I know I'm getting off subject, but I'm trying to illustrate why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I know I get off subject a lot and I apologize, but Hamilton. I just can't remember the address. So 124 Hamilton. This is an example of where I always say, like, if you were to look at my listing presentation, I say I oftentimes can sell a house for more money than the average realtor. The thing about that is our MLS doesn't illustrate that. Our MLS doesn't show that I can list a house for more money. It just shows what I listed it at, right? So even when I list a home for more money, and I sell it for less than 100% of the asking price, it doesn't show that, well, in reality, I made them $9,000 more, right? But this is an example here of, I listed this. So if you guys remember that video that I had where I had the lady on the phone for 19 minutes, that's this house. So they had it sold back in April of last year, 2023. she had to get out, the deal fell apart because of her. She had that agent back out to list it. She wanted it listed at 99.9 again. And I'm like, we need to go up, right? And then that's when she said, well, the other agent's willing to cut her commission. And that's when I used that script, like, wait a minute, if she's willing to cut her value and her money as fast as she did, how fast do you think she'd be willing to cut your money, right? Which basically bring down the price. That makes total sense, right? So, shit, she's doing it to her money. So next thing you know, I get the house, I list the house 114.9. I said, I don't think I'll sell it there, but you never know who's laying in the weeds. So, because I told her, we probably should put it up at 109.9, but there's no other players on the ball field. So if there's no other players on the ball field, what if we have the product and somebody's willing to pay for it, right? So we went roughly a week. Let's see, 7 days. Matter of fact, we went 7 days and then adjusted the price. 2 days later, sold it. I made her $9,000 more, right? That isn't illustrated in the MLS, unfortunately, right? So anyways, that's the bad thing about this is, but we can explain. So this is actually on a bold, the serious in a hurry, serious not in a hurry, investors, the looky-loos. I don't know if you guys remember that from like ages ago. Serious and in a hurry, they might be moving into your town and only have 3 days to find a home. Oh, Siri. No, it's serious, Siri. Or maybe they just sold theirs, need to get into another one, they'll lose their contract. Serious, not in a hurry, they can qualify. They may be a first-time home buyer proceeding cautiously, or they may be looking at a special home. Most first-time home buyers who are proceeding cautiously want someone to hold their hand, right? I don't know if you guys took bull forever ago. That's right. I think that it might even be Diana's scripts, but they want to buy everything 10 cents on the dollar. I bet some have called you already. Did they ask you how much you would come down? And then the looky-loos, shouldn't call them looky-loos. They can't qualify. Agents won't show them or won't put them in the car. So they go out and pray for sale by owners. So I got to figure out like, and I know I'm being really slow here, but I know. Okay. So if I'm going to list a house at 180,000, would you agree that 181, 182, 184, 187, 189 is the same price? Like if I'm taking on a buyer, do you think they're going to be like, let's go look at the 180s, but nothing above 185? No, in my opinion, we're gonna go show them if it's a 182 or 189, guess what we're doing? We're showing them that house, right? So if you're gonna list it at 185, you might as well list it at 189.9, right? So that's probably what I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna move this 189.9. And so I'm trying to put something together here, right? So I have the marketing, I have the know-how, I have the syndication, I have all the tools to sell this house. Normally, if she was on the phone, I would be working the script. Well, does money matter? Money doesn't matter. Keep selling it yourself. But hey, if money matters and I can net you $12,000 more, the problem is she's saying no realtors involved. Generally, you would find somebody, make sure I'm not missing anybody on Zoom land. I apologize if I am. Normally, they would say, yeah, I'm compensating a buyer's agent, right? 3%. And so that's why I have this over here on this Excel sheet is you are offering up 3%, right? And then you're going to pay a lawyer to close it out. That lawyer cost is $850. I just closed one. It was substantially higher than that, but it was because it was a wonderful, wonderful mess. It was a great time. It's fabulous, great, grand. So it was more than $850, but that's generally like, oh, lawyer will close it out. So now I got to remove that 3%, right? So if I go to 0, what does that look like? So even if she's not willing to compensate, and I can prove my numbers, like, so I feel good. I'm not blowing smoke here. Like, even though it doesn't illustrate like what I'm capable of doing, like by listing it for more, but I guess it does because I'm 189.9. If I could put $7,900 more in your pocket, wouldn't you agree? It makes sense to meet with me. right?
Ryan, are you assuming that she priced it correctly to begin with?
Yep, there's an assumption in there. Yep, but without seeing the house in person, yeah, and that would be my move. I'm still working through what I want to say, but this is generally what I would be doing in my office, sitting at my computer anyways. This isn't fast, right? Like, I want to set an appointment. And I feel like I can. Let's go back to Louise here. Oh, that's Jan, trying to help the process along. So I gotta figure out what Louise is talking about here, but I got Jan. Bear with me here. Nothing new in there.
Thing is, right, she's been no realtors. And yet she's meeting back.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
She didn't. Hi.
Mhm. Hello.
Hi.
All right, so let me think through this here. Thanks for the information, Ryan. The only thing we've done is put it on Zillow for sale by owner. So basically, we've had an open house, put it back on the market. We took it off. All right, let's see here. Can I open? I don't know what that is. This means you won't see your full chat history on this device. I don't know what's going on. 85051. Maybe it's because I got two items going. I don't know. Remember this browser, yes. All right, so. Thanks for the information. The only thing we've done. No, that's a different one. This is a for sale by owner that I'm trying to wiggle in here. Hmm.
Okay, you got to come with recommendations.
Man, it's such a cute house. It. She doesn't have the money makers where they need to be. So what I like to tell people, especially sellers, when you go to sell a house, what are, or you're looking at houses, right? What are the areas of the property that you're the most interested in? You guys go ahead and answer that real quick. Kitchen, bath, master bedroom, cool common area, cool backyard, right? So if you notice, you go to my listings, typically the first photos that pop up are the money makers, right? It's not what she's done here. Nothing against her. It's just hard to illustrate. Why would somebody pay 185,000 for this house? Cool flowers, bro. Cool outhouse, cool living room. Right? She has a nice kitchen. I just can't see all of it. All right. Cool bathroom too. It's nice. You can tell it's updated. It's just a shoddy photo. Cool. I mean, that's a great garage. Who doesn't want that? Right. So we're just missing the mark when it comes to the money. Not at all. All right. Okay. I just keep having to move this stuff on Zoom, so I apologize. If you're wondering. Shameless plug for Ryan Tucker. All right, let's go. If don't capture. Our pictures were pretty good. You disagree? Yeah. Right. Well, I feel like I'm in an aquarium right now. Everybody's just watching, but this is it. Like, and honestly, this sounds sick. This is so fun for me. Like, it just is. Like, it's fun. It's easy. Huh?
A little bit.
What'd you say?
Feel a little stressed watching you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So they aren't bad, but
You're supposed to use however instead of but.
oh, who is that? Who put that? Who said that?
What did you say? Therefore.
However, thank you. You aren't bad. So this is why I talk on the phone.
I will say that is an advantage over, I think calling is better and more personal, all that. We can navigate 6 people at a time while you're in the phone class.
Oop. I don't know.
At what point will you pivot?
I'm getting ready to.
Now?
Yeah. Hmm.
Are you trying to see what
Yeah.
it is, what the phrase is gonna be? Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. What's that?
I can't read it on it.
Oh,
Fill in the blanks in my mind. So I was. No, don't do that. Yeah, it was like. Oh, I was. Oh. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually in my phone. Not really something. What? Not really something. Oh.
mm. Let's see how that sits. Oh. I love this sport. No, we're just flipping it. Watch this. All right. Here it is. So I put it out there. Can we meet? This is where the rubber meets the road. Otherwise, I got Luis over there. He's over there scamming me.
Wants to see the camera plan.
Yeah. Yes, and find another. So. Half tempted to get a hold of Rico. Come on, Jan. Damn. Who, Ray? Appreciate the information, Ryan. I really respect the go-getters like you that have come across in this experience. To be totally honest with you, though. Former coworker of my husband's. He's worked for the city recently, retired, but Ray has been for free. So a realtor just giving everything for free.
Oh, Shania. So,
Mhm. Hmm. Okay. So Fran. I don't know. Luis, maybe. Luis. Luis. Louis V. I gotta revisit this. I'm
That
not
was more
sure.
saying Louise is a female. Believe me, my name's Louis. I get Louise all the time, and with Spoden, that's Louis. The e at the end makes it female. just
Get it.
just in case you ever get to the he she part, I don't want you to keep calling a person a he or she. Perfect.
All right, I gotta figure out what to do with Jan. That happens, but
Isn't she calling right there? She's saving money.
yeah.
It's all about. the free. They're not. They ain't not interacting with soul.
So she got a friend that does it. Well, I mean, I'm not done with that conversation. I just don't know where to go with it quite yet. That's a bummer though. I gotta figure out how to get on this. There we go.
No.
That's right. Why say no when saying yes feels so good? But that is also another reason why you keep throwing those hooks out. So I have several other emails that have not been responded to, which is okay. What do we got here?
Fun.
Yeah.
Work.
Same thing, same song and dance.
We need to call them. I think we're doing that, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah. I just- Yeah, that was just.
See,
I know there's much. Yeah.
so again, it's how many of these can I send out and what's my reply? I mean, I don't know what's gonna turn into this. With Louise, like. She's helping somebody, right? I'm probably going to hunt down the actual seller, to be honest with you. If I could tell this home was occupied, I would just drive over to it. Why not, right? One thing I did, hang on a second. Can't remember the address, 404 Prospect. So it's not on the market. So it's not on Zillow, it's not in anywhere. So this would be one that I'll hunt down. I'll just try to actually find the seller of it, the actual owner, but I'll talk to her. I could risk, say, hey, let's run out and look at another home. I could say, I mean, I could go a lot of different ways here.
Would it save
I
you
could-
time if you just said, hey, could I give you a phone call real quick?
You
How
could.
feel about
Yeah, I love that you want to phone call people or call people.
You could tell if people are.
Yeah,
giving their full-
yeah. And that's the reason why I prefer to phone. I prefer to call over everything. But that's also agents that do that, they're the anomaly. They're the ones that like, not a whole lot of agents, I think it's fair to say, won't pick up that phone. It's for whatever reason, and it's okay. I've learned just to be like, that's okay. Like, whether it's handwritten notes or letters or whatever, just do something versus nothing, right? So I don't like to risk, first off, I don't even really like to work with buyers, just so you're aware. But I will if I think I can get a listing out of it. All right, so could I risk going to show this property? Um. Do I risk going to show this property to somebody that maybe not gonna buy, maybe not gonna list? Could, if it was just a buyer wanting to go look at this house, I'm gonna want pre-approval. I won't waste my time. That's the ex-husband who's the reason for selling the property. The name is needed off. This is getting better and better. Okay. Well, okay, so. So it's not Rico.
Who is that?
This is Luis, so that's the ex-husband who is the reason for selling the property. Their name is needed off. Okay, so. You sent me in a rabbit hole, didn't you? Is there? I just seen it. There was a point where he took the. Gene. Gene is the owner at Prospect. He's just wanting his name off the deed. Okay. Puerto Rico region. Because if she says, well, I'll go and then I'll let Gene know, then I'm gonna hunt down. I'll probably even call the ex-husband. Just to see what's going on there.
Oh, Rico, the ex-husband.
And then this lady is helping Gene, who's selling that house and looking for a $70,000 or $80,000 house. Dana, where's Dana? Oh. That was just listed. I feel like. No,
I think that's Corley that was.
Yeah.
Well, another agents. Yeah, she was not.
oh, Kind of name is that. So he's flipping. I thought he looked familiar, sounded familiar. Oops. So I get. This is just to show you an example of how to lead gen. Hopefully people got some out of this. I've had several conversations. Do I think I'll get a piece of business out of it? I gotta weed through the weeds here with Louise, try to figure out what she's got going on, but it's definitely something to follow up on. There's a house to sell and one to purchase, right? To me, that's a good lead at some, until that lead's dead and they say, I'm not doing anything, then that's a lead for me, right? And I have other, whether I made phone calls and left voicemails, or whether I sent out emails or I sent out handwritten notes, I still have to wait for a reply, right? So I have several other emails or messages out that I'm gonna need to wait for replies. I mean, no matter which type of lead generation you do, you're gonna have to wait. So does that make sense?
Other than
So it's not
Marketplace,
wasted.
Are there other, do you do like Craigslist or?
Craigslist, oh yeah, yep.
Sites or-
Yep, Craigslist is a good one. You gotta be careful there too. There's usually where the scammers are at. This one's snazzy. What do we got here? On the for sale by owner site. Shannon Redknapp, that sounds familiar. Hmm. Hmm? I will for the right money. Huh?
That's right, that's fine, maybe. I
You-
don't know.
Let's see. Yeah, like I have the threshold of how far I'll go for what money, but only for a listing. I generally won't run out. If a buyer was like, hey, I want to go look at homes up here, it's like, well, I'm not signing up for that drive over and over and over again.
But if you get the listing, are you then,
That's just,
help with the buying?
if I get the listing, I won't work with a buyer out there.
But I mean, the person that you listed the house for, if
Mhm.
they're relocating the area, like Princeton, would you then?
That's a different story. That's a little different, but generally, yeah, they're usually moving out of the area or something of that nature. Or moving, if they're moving away, then I'll find them a realtor and get a referral. Yeah. I have, I have 3 referrals out right now. Never underestimate those. Got one out in Tennessee, one in Florida, and then one up on New Boston. It's on the bay. Find them a realtor. Yeah, just do your due diligence and, you know, follow up with that realtor, make sure they hit it off and they're gonna actually work together. Cause I've learned my lesson where they're like, no, we didn't like them. We found another one. I'm like, oh man, I never followed up. Best one I ever had was, at 1.3 or 1.4 million California referral. And it was like, this is no lie, it was like 6,000 something dollars showed up in my mailbox. It's like, yeah, found a realtor and they bought a house and it was like a $6,000 check. Like, thank you. Just by finding them a realtor. So that's an hour and 30 minutes. Oh, from here, wait. It's not as bad from Peoria. Bear with me. Hour and 5 minutes. For 9 grand. Yep. $400 trailer. Sold a $3,000 trailer once and made 1,500 bucks on it. Flip it. What is this? Ew. It's lofty. Get it? Lofty. Man. Horrible. Yeah, you're welcome. Property.
They do an open house, we assume they have an agent.
Yeah,
Homeowners will do open houses.
absolutely. Which they don't realize, most people don't want to go to an open house
Right.
with the owner there. Let's see what I'm typing. It's like cut off for some reason. Hmm. Hopefully it's right. Go on. See, here's one in normal you guys could be sending a message to. Kiwani, oh, that's not by, it's not out here. Clinton, is that too far for you guys in Bloomington? Yeah,
They're not in here. Stacy's giving that back.
man, 162 for this? Shee. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, now we're winding down here. Anybody have any questions? I know a bunch of people jumped off online, but any questions online? Any questions here? Good.
What's the search?
True people. Yep. So you can do, for instance, you can do name. Just do Illinois. I'm not 58. I am 42. There's a few of them there. This will show. Says lives in I don't live in Congerville anymore. On that house anymore. Can also do if you have somebody calls you from a number, or you have a number, you don't have a name. That's why. I don't know why it shows. Huh. Yeah. I don't know why it shows previous. That's my current address. And that's a house we owned. It's years ago, so it's not entirely accurate, but if you did 421 West Bittersweet. So this is how I normally do it. Bittersweet Road. Yeesh. And pulls up. Should pull up my phone number. There it is. It's not T-Mobile. It's 18. I don't know. I guess they're the same, maybe. I don't know. But so it says I live in Congerville. I definitely live in Congerville. There's my phone number. So it's a good.
Ryan, if they're at work and they get back to you at like 4 o'clock, like how often are you checking these messages to?
Pretty
call
often.
them time and again?
Yeah. No, I mean it's on my phone. We're realtors, so we'll jump, unfortunately.
So you get a notification and you just.
Gonna start talking to them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I might do, depending on what I'm doing, but ideally I want to be around a computer if I could. But yeah, and it's just like if I left a voicemail, somebody's gonna call me back. You start talking to them and try to figure out what they're doing. Like if I had left a bunch of voicemails, then I would tell them that I called quite a few for sale by owners, and here's why. I was looking for somebody that might be looking to purchase another property in this area. I have a problem child and yada, yada, yada. Which one were you? And because some people are like, yeah, I don't want to. They call me back. How do I know who it was? I'm like, it
Right.
doesn't really matter. You just know it's a for sale by owner, right? And it's okay to say, I'm not around the computer to put your number in or put your email in or put your house in. So I don't really know. Do you mind telling me? So
How we doing, Ryan?
they're all right.
Alright, so,
It's taxing.
yeah, how we make it? How far we go?
I got a lot of messages out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what turns out. But that's lead gen too. Like
That's right.
you can't expect to listen, if it was that easy, everybody would do it.
Competition, I catch it.
That's right. That's exactly right. And you gotta just keep doing it.
How
So
we get with Jan? Did we run into a wall with Jan?
we did.
Jan doesn't want to use your services?
Well, she's got a friend who is a realtor
Oh, no.
that's been helping them, but that's okay. Cause there's a chance that she won't sell it, and there's a chance her friend won't sell it. Like, so you never want to just discount it and say, it's off. I remember interviewing for a house, cobblestone, nine cobblestone. Check this out. Let me tell you about persistence. Nine cobblestone. This is years ago. All sold. I interviewed for this 3 freaking times. Yes. And finally got my crack. So it was early on. So Blackerby had it, it expired. I called on it, right? I shouldn't say I interviewed for it. I called on it and then didn't get the appointment. So, oh, I'm gonna go with Blackerby again. And then it didn't sell. And the next thing you know, he goes with another agent and gets Julia. I called this, Kevin's his name. And I called and called and called until finally I'm like, dude, you just keep doing the same thing, getting the same results. All right, fine, come on over. And then so I finally get my shot at it and we sold it. But it was, how many times can I
What was the
call?
difference?
And 114.9 and sold it 407. Can't remember who, Mark Lockwood. Kevin's, is it Kevin? Hang on. I think so. This was years ago. Kevin Cox, yep. But just to give you an idea, like, so you just keep, you don't want to fine, whatever. It's like, here I am again, dude, again, knocking on your door, asking for you to meet with me. What was funny is at that time I had still owned a used car dealership in Eureka. I was slinging cars, and then he ended up coming down there and buying a car off me for his son too.
You double dipped.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, guys. See ya.
Thank you.